I love Android, and for me, Android means choice, whether that's a custom launcher, custom icons, or a custom theme. And for hardware, you can choose big screen, small screen, stylus input, glass back, metal glass, the choice is yours. Over the years, I've used a lot of Android phones, and sometimes I go back to an iPhone. And there are some things about iOS that I absolutely love. In this video, I'm going to tell you what they are. But first, this video is sponsored by the geniuses at Wix. The gesture navigation on the iPhone feels half-baked. It's not very intuitive, and the animations could be better, but there is one function that is extremely useful. That's the side swipe that lets you move quickly between apps. It reminds me of using the Alt-Tab keyboard shortcut on a PC. On Android, the Pixel phones allow you to do this with a swipe right of the navigation pill, but you can only flip between two apps. You could also use XDA's Navigation Gestures app to add a pill and navigation gestures to any Android, but neither solution is as good as what you get on the iPhone. Apple first came out with their pressure-sensitive displays on the Apple Watch. It was called Force Touch then, and it was really cool because it reduced the need for hardware and software buttons because you could have a new interaction with the display by pressing firmly on the screen. And it wasn't until Force Touch came to the iPhone as 3D Touch that it really started to make a difference and help the user experience. If you adjust your usage to do a hard press on icons and to be able to access these shortcuts, you can benefit from deep linking within apps, so that, for example, on Twitter, you can immediately jump into the Compose window. In the phone app, you can very quickly make a call by just pressing hard and sliding your finger up to land on the person you want to dial. It's super fast. Android does have app shortcuts, which can do pretty much the same thing with a tap and hold of an icon, but if you don't time it just right, you might move the icon a little bit, which causes the app shortcut to dismiss. On iPhone, you never have that problem because the phone knows your intention when you press firmly. Another really good use of this pressure sensitivity is cursor placement. It's so natural to press firmly on a keyboard and to be able to reposition the cursor precisely. Android lets you do this in Gboard by sliding your finger on the spacebar, but it's not very precise. Another thing I love about the iPhone and iOS, especially the newer iPhones, is that while the screen refreshes at 60 Hz like most other phones, the screen can detect touch input at 120 Hz, which is twice as fast as most other displays. That means it registers touch input every 8.3 milliseconds instead of 16.6 milliseconds. While this difference seems small, it leads to increased sensitivity when moving through lists or selecting items on the screen. Overall, it just makes the phone more smooth, and I love it. The last thing I love about the iPhone is video recording. It's just so good, and even with Pixels and Galaxy Notes out there, the iPhone records video better than any other phone. The camera on the iPhone has super fast and accurate autofocus, really great exposure compensation to avoid bright spots and bring out shadow detail, and super smooth stabilization. Android phones usually struggle with things like dynamic range, over-sharpening, and stabilization can kind of be warpy as lighting conditions get difficult. iPhones are so good at this, you'd be shocked to know how many of our videos have relied on an iPhone as a secondary camera, and trust me, we've tried using other phones. The iPhone is just better. Before we conclude this video, let me tell you more about our sponsor, Wix. If you want to make an online store, blog, or other website with no coding knowledge, Wix offers an amazing portfolio of tools that lets you design something that is right for you. And it's all drag and drop, or pick from one of their many templates. You can learn more in the description below. So while I love my Android phones, there are definitely things about iOS that keep me coming back, such as the amazing video recording, the gesture navigation, and the Force Touch sensitivity on the screen. Let us know in the comments if there are things about iOS and iPhones that you particularly love, especially if you're an Android user, and don't worry, we won't judge. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and follow us on social for more. Thanks for watching, that's it for now.